characters? Yeah.
I will try.
Yeah.
Well, I have always known what I want. And when you know what you want, you go toward it. Sometimes you go very fast, and sometimes only an inch a year. Perhaps you feel happier when you go fast. I don't know. I have forgotten the difference long ago because it really doesn't matter so long as you move.
Okay, what does the speed you want to explain, or you want someone else explain? Are you concentrating on reading? Anyone who heard her reading, or were you reading yourself? You and I were only thinking of saying that she says that she knew what she wanted, and yeah, sure. Get too fast.
Always I know what I want. Means हमको पता ही हमको क्या चाहिए और आप उसकी तरफ अपने आप खींचे.
हाँ.
अभी बहुत जल्दी खींचे जाओगे या कुछ
चलते रहे. Oh. And the next one, it's a rare gift. Speed. Fast.
It's a rare gift, you know, to feel reverence of your own life and to want the best, the greatest, the highest possible here, now, for your very own.
Is it a gift to know what you want?
Yes.
Yeah. So do all of you know exactly what you want, and are all of you moving in that general direction towards your destination or goal? Short term, long term, and so on. No. You're being very honest, thank you. You know why I'm asking you this question? Because it relates to why I'm going to talk about positive youth development. Because this is the problem. This novel was written almost 1929, so yeah, years ago. England wrote it after the First World War. And she's talking about a Soviet Russia where these people were here from a bourgeois background, and she wants to be a civil engineer, like yours. She wants to be an engineer, and she wants to be a civil engineer. So it's like a double whammy. One is a girl wanting to be an engineer, and she doesn't get her paperwork done, she doesn't get her work card, enrollment in the university, etc. without a lot of hurdles. She faces a lot of hurdles to get enrolled in this program. And further, the same thing that civil engineering, what will a girl do in a construction site? So I asked your principal this question this morning, and she told me she's a civil engineer. How did you find it in your science? I said, yeah, she did find a lot of resistance. But she said, you don't really need to go to the site now. But in those days, civil engineering was going to the site and being part of construction, etc. She said, when I see buildings, I love it, and I want to build something like that. And so she wanted to study civil engineering. So I hope that you're here because you love what you're studying. You have a passion for it. I want to do it, and therefore I'm here. Not because, although I'm a girl, I know I can get into an engineering program today. And therefore I'm going. If you learn to love what you are doing, no matter whatever hurdles you face, whatever pressure, actually was chased by the secret police. And she faced a lot of hurdles. And finally, she was trying to cross from Soviet Russia to a free country, and she got shot down in the novel. You don't have to get judged. We're a free country. Worldwide, we don't have that kind of oppression, except maybe in certain Middle Eastern countries. Most of the world enjoys freedom. Most of us enjoy freedom to think and do what we want to do. So therefore, it's only right that we should enjoy what we do. We should not do something just चलता है करना ही है तो यही करो क्यों नहीं और कुछ जो भी करना है वो इसलिए करना है कि मुझे यही करना है I love doing this and if you go to it your goal is oriented in that direction there will be no problem we won't even need to discuss a topic like UI positive youth development. Okay. Thank you. So I will talk about this maybe the state cannot destroy her. Even though it can destroy her physically when she dies, Kira cannot be destroyed spiritually. She fulfilled what she set out to do. So her spirit went very free and complete. The space she moved on and she died. Okay. Or leave on. So 1 second you won't read a leave on, but I think I just told you whatever is on this. No? Or you want to read? You're not going to go back and read either living. So, I'm only going to read the second paragraph or ask one. Just you read.
Rand held that each individual has a moral right to live for his own sake, to pursue his own personal happiness. Although they each passionately want to live, Kira and Leo cannot live a human life because they are trapped in a society that refuses to recognize or respect that right by leaving them free.
So, therefore, is it not important for women to be respected as one half of society, of mankind, or the whole mankind? Humanity is made of 50% men and 50% women, as we all know. Although the ratio is decreasing in India because of all the female feticide that goes on. The atrocious figures. Earlier, it was 1100 to 1100 to per thousand males, women versus male. The ratio was 1100 to 1000, and now it is 926. Am I right? Average all over India is 936 or 926 to per thousand. In between, it has even gone to 700 in states like Haryana and a few other states where they have to import rice from other states where there are more educated people where the ratio is still higher. So from Kerala, I think girls went to get married to boys in Haryana because the ratio was so skewed. There were not enough girls in Haryana. We need to value basically. So we know I'm not going to do this. I think that Hinasha talked about all the government programs. Did she talk about it? So all this stuff. We know that the government provides incentives through midday meals programs, through free concessions for girls in almost all the states, through providing bus fare to girls who go to school, in boys I think in rural areas. But most of the girls in areas where it's not covered by public transport, they even provide them with cycles. They even give grains of sacks of grains to the parents in lieu of the girls' contribution to the agriculture because the parents say, no, she needs to be part of the agriculture. We going to work in spite of that. And how many of you know that there are a lot of girls who get married below 18? You all don't know? You all know or you all don't know? Do you know how many? Many. You hear about it all the time. And they pick the figures so that the law doesn't catch them. And those girls, do they study? No, obviously not. If they were studying, they stop. In most cases, they are not studying or they drop out of school and so on. So it is illegal to do so. So government is doing the setting minimum age and still, in spite of that, people overcome. These are all the programs. I'm not going to even look at it. So you can look at it later. Next one. So this is one case where this Shibos one is Rooney Price. Have you read that? Have you read it? Any of you? No. Have you read this in the news? This is last month's news. So this girl won this prize. The Google University award because she got interested in science because of her brother helping her. When she's very young, he was telling her how atoms work and so on. So, how to get girls interested in other studies. So, this is the US figure, by the way. This is not Indian. Indian figure will be much lower. 41% of college freshmen go into science and engineering, and 30% of women, according to this NSF in engineering report. Yet, in computer science, physics, and so on, the women numbers are very low. I think it's next one. 19%. Yeah, only 19% of women are software developers. 5.5% of women are commercial patent holders. And female engineers are less likely than males to work in development or design. Why is that? How many IT engineers here? 4, 5. Okay, there are enough girls here. So, what got your interest? As you might be talked. As you someone talk so far?
I just wanted to get into coding.
Okay. How about someone else?
I was always interested in this field,
And you enjoy being with family? Good. How about your boys? You like it? Yes? All of you? You like writing code? So she says that here I think because there are more women in this audience, the proportion is equal number of boys 90 and girls 90. Otherwise, it's very low percentage of women go to computer science. And that is big. Even though the GPA, which is the grade point average, which is actually cumulative point index here, even though girls do well overall in academics, in spite of that, in spite of their GPA being higher, the fewer important areas. So some statistics, we know the population, but in non-agri sectors, there are only 19% of women employed. Which means like 60% of women employed. That's what we heard this morning, that's what you might be just saying. 60% of women are employed. But in non-agri, only 19%. Which means like 41% of women who are working in the field. They're not educated, no access to education. Very sad. And maternal mortality rate is very low, very high. 2% is high, 40% is high. And you can talk the numbers. And that's why it's giving numbers also. 200 per 100,000 births. Proportion of women in politics, also very low, 11%. So this is what the last one. Who can promote the awareness? Who can make changes happen? And it says you, is it just you, the girls? No, it's each one of you. All the boys and the girls, everyone. Therefore, there should have been more men in this conference. As many men as women should have been present here. Because I think that while girls can do it, I think that it is easier to do it with the fathers, the brothers, and husbands supporting them. And if the men in their lives understand the importance of supporting their endeavors, it's a good thing. It instills unity in the family, in the unit, and so on. It's a good thing. So I think that it's important to show I can do it myself as a woman. And I agree that yes, I can do it even though I can cook well, I can be a good caregiver, a nurturer of my family, and yet I can do this. We are capable of multitasking. Women are really very smart. So we can do both. And we can do it more easily when we have the men's support. Is this a myth? Now, what do you think? Equality? Equal opportunities? Is it a myth? It's a reality? Do women get paid the same wages as men for the same job? No. 100% no. If you do a secret ballot of the women faculty in your own college of how much they earn compared to how much the men earn or get those figures, you find it is disproportionate. You will find teaching and is 20 girls. 10 years ago, first, because I know that women get married early, and there was much infant mortality is high. So let me ask another question. If you are a father and you have a daughter and a son, who will you educate? Both, your money only for one child's fee. They both have finished 12th and now one of them has to go to college. Who will you send to college? Who? Your son or your daughter? Dear. Cheating because you didn't expect an answer. Actually, you will send your son because you will say he has to get a job. In good school, you will send your son. But why do you think it should be daughter? Now that you gave the right answer.
Because now the scenario is like that. Girls are means the boy and girl ratio are means there is a gap between that, and now the demand of girls are very high.
The educated girls, you mean?
Yeah.
In the marriage market, okay, that's why all you girls are engineering to study. Okay.
Not the point of not the from the
Not
marriage
from-
point of view,
Yeah.
but from each and every perspective.
Such as?
Such as it is career oriented, because nowadays girls are not only just oriented to their means grandfather when she goes to there after marriage, but she also cares about their own parents after marriage also.
Okay, good point. But there's a more important point. Anyone else want to add to that? It's a very good point that she cares about the parents. Yes,
A
Kushbu.
woman takes care of her family, like her education will be more useful for her children, her family.
Yes, because she's the primary caregiver for her children. Also, yeah.
One more point that since my this childhood when I went my village, there was a sentence written over that कि एक माता 100 शिक्षकों ने गरज सारे थे.
Ah,
So
Parvati, no?
yeah.
No, no.
So this may be the reason.
It is the reason because the mother is the primary caregiver for the children. And so when the mother grows, is educated, the children grow up under her care, they will have a better thinking, they'll be better educated, they'll be better human beings, better citizens, better productive, contributing individuals in society. Because the mother knows what to teach them when she herself is educated. Okay. And yet, you see that there are 2 teachers in 60% of schools, less than 2 teachers in 60% of schools to teach them, more than 50% of girls fail to enroll. So I was not going to go through these numbers if someone had shown the numbers earlier, but since no one did, let's take a look at it. They are alarming figures. Therefore, take a look at it and think about what each of you can do as the elite, because you're the elite. all of you, boys and girls, you're elite, you're educated, when you finish your graduation, you're very special people. You can make changes in all these circumstances, in all these areas. You are the ones who can make the change. Okay, in order to do this, I'm not going to read this. It's very sad. One of the 4 girls sexually abused. That really alarmed me when I read that. These are from UNESCO webpage, UN World Bank, CRI, all these sources, the figures, from all government pages or NGO pages. This is also very sad. That is, this can get you there. How very sad. Next one. So, 2/3, imagine 2/3 of the illiterates in the world, all over the world are women. 3% of the 163 million. So when there is this, like talking about the choice of profession, traditionally was if you're a girl, you would be a teacher. If you're going to work later, you would be a teacher. Or you'd be a nurse. And sometimes you're a doctor, then you'll be a gynae. Similarly, in this is the equivalent of the ITIs, vocational training programs. The program meant for girls is in these areas. Imagine. Courses of food, garment, food, health and service. These are the areas where technical courses. Now, and so on. To improve the vocational training for women, these are the areas that we are trying to understand. So these are some famous engineers that we can look at, all these people all over the world. Inspiration for us. So see the last slide. I want someone to read the last slide. Yet women form 3% of CEOs, 20.4% of management IEEE. That's sad. I had the figures for a specific reason because mostly people disagree. They not today. Not today in this room. Fortunately and thankfully not in this room. But yes, today is all over the world. These figures tell us. Yes, today the things have changed, but not to the extent it ought to change. Imagine you talk of Chandra Kochar being CEO of ICICI and someone else being CEO of something else. Yet, how many percentages? 3. And 8 for overall management. So that's why we're going to talk about, now I'm really getting into my topic, but I thought that this introduction is important. Why PYD? What do you think is PYD? Positive Youth Development. Someone? What is PYD? According to you? Anyone?
Youth should be focused on its mission.
Okay, good. Youth should be focused on mission and
Whatever it wants to achieve, it needs to clear its goals. It needs to work in the positive direction.
good answer. You're hearing? All of you? You all need to focus. You the school, you people. Not me. I can retire and say, okay, my time is over. All of you. You need to focus. You need to go in the right direction to achieve your goals. So what are those goals? What do you all want to do? You want to quit college when you finish college, go get a job, earn a lot of money, or what else? What do you want to do? Now think back on those youth stereotypes slide that I showed you earlier. And there's stereotypes. Not all youth do all that. That's why I call it youth stereotypes. We don't believe in stereotyping anyone, neither women nor you. No, not all people are like that. Maybe 5% are addicted to internet. Maybe 10% are addicted to SMS. But not everyone. Again, this is the image we have of people, of youth we have as women. Similarly, women we have this image. How can you reach that goal, the long-term goal, the short-term goals, the directions that you're thinking that you should achieve in once you graduate? How can you do that? So you think that the lack of self-awareness is a problem with some of you? What is self? How many of you write a diary? 3, 4, in 5, 6, 7. Good. 7 is still good in a room of 100 of you. 7 of you write a diary. 8 of you and maybe 10 of you because a few of you are shy to raise your hands because you worry that call on you. So I call on you anyway. One of you who didn't speak so far, tell me why do you write a diary? Someone who didn't speak so far. Yeah. Thank you. डायरी में अपना फीलिंग शेयर कर सकते हैं हाँ किस टाइप की फीलिंग बताना बस वो उसमें खास है
मेगा मेगा
हाँ वो इस टाइप की फीलिंग है कि इससे प्यार हो गया और उसने बात की I'm giving it as not an example because I know that is not what you are saying because you got an answer. So what type of feeling is that? हाँ, you think about what you want to do. मेरा गोल क्या है? मैंने क्या गलती की मेरे गोल के पाथ में? मैंने क्या सही किया? So you have to appreciate yourself also. So when you're writing a diary, it helps you to introspect. That's what it means. Introspect is self-examination. You look at yourself and think about what it is that you're doing right as well as wrong. So it's important to remember writing that also in your diary. All of you those who keep your diaries, you're saying pat on the shoulders for the good things that you do. Yes, good. So it helps in self-awareness. The next one, that is good role model. Is that true that this lady has talked about the Gen 1? I don't know if that's right. But women in engineering, she says that women in engineering don't have good role models because traditionally there were not enough women who were engineers. Is that true? Not boys, girls. Do you have good role models? You have a few, but not too many. Next one, distractions of campus life. You all know most of you, how many of you are in a residential campus? I mean, you live in a hostel. A few of you, not many of you. Okay, some 7, 8. Are there distractions when you live on campus that slow down your studying process more than when you live at home? No? Yes? Yes. I think yes. The honest is yes. Maybe for girls it's not, but for boys it's definitely yes. Because what are the distractions? People play music aloud also as a big distraction. What is your distraction?
Maybe all the roommates are not the same, right? So if 2 of them are doing something, obviously everyone gets attracted to it.
So the distraction because of the roommates. What are the distractions? Any of you behind who raise your hand if you're on campus? You live in the residential campus? Hostel life?
Night outs.
Sorry?
Night outs.
Yeah. So you can't have it. The next point I have is low faculty student interaction. How many times in a week do you meet an instructor? Please don't take any names. I'm just asking a general question. That how many times in a week do you meet your instructor for no reason at all? No, not class. Something, not class related. Do you just meet an instructor outside of class? To ask a doubt, to just talk. How many of you do that? Which college are you from? Very good. Okay. Where's that? Okay. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so two people in this group of 100 who actually meet instructors outside the classroom just like that. And that's also three people here. So that's also not a good number. I think one of the problems in the current reason for a disconnect of youth from the rest of the older generation, parents, teachers, etc. Parties disconnect with reality in some cases. Is that true? Or perception of reality is not the same as what reality actually is. Is that true? No. Okay. Your response?
There are potential people who keep on taking the.
Yeah. Suggest?
There are many friends of mine who keep on doing that on level.
Yeah. That's why I have that's written reality. Okay, how many of you are, you know what, I'm not going to touch the last one because if you have good self-esteem, all of you would be talking, not just a handful of you. So I don't even have to ask you, do you think this is true? Low self-esteem in some cases. You also have very good self-esteem. I told you at the beginning, you're privileged few who are in this very hard program of study in engineering field. So you should be proud of who you are. And therefore you should interact, you should ask questions, you have comments, you should volunteer to read when I ask you to read. Not just a few people each time. So this is a problem. These are problems if you look at Next slide. In the next paragraph, how can teachers improve student or teacher relationship? You can see? No, I'm so sorry. Please outside or we just pass it to another person.
Learning as much as possible about students' personal interests and backgrounds, trying to connect their personal interests with classroom work where possible. Also learning about students' cultures and religious backgrounds may help us relate to them more effectively. Shall I proceed?
No, just explain what you just read and then proceed. Just tell me how can we connect better with your. How can we connect better?
By interacting,
By learning more about you, what kind of background you're from, and
by religious talks, by personal interactions.
yeah. So this the people who are propagating positive youth development (PYD) as a new area of field of research and study. These people, these researchers are saying that in some ways the teachers can help create a positive learning experience in their class environment is by these methods. The names, who was it who was saying that you, who was that? Lab journals. These are like
These are activity journals. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
yeah. Lab journals. Lab journals are good.
Sorry?
Was it good to have meetings with teachers?
Parents and teachers, but not for us. Implementing social emotional learning opportunities which improve students to understand their own and others' emotions.
Okay, do that. Implementing social emotional learning opportunities.
Through cultural fairs, interactive
Yeah, cultural fairs is a good way. Other venues for improving social and emotional abilities in a person. Tell us if you have any ideas. You don't need to go back. Yeah.
Maybe our students also visit the old age group.
Yeah.
And also they have arranged some session for the girls in the rural area for the slum students. These type of activities are always happening in our LDRP curriculum.
That's why I was thinking we're going to talk about
Actually, our students under IEEE and RE branch frequently in a year 4 or 5 times students visit the old age group on some special days, IEEE day. Even also students visited the rural areas schools, especially girls schools, and they motivate about what is the technical education, what is the future of that, because they have no enough faculties to teach even. Even our students are also spending on Saturday to the slum area and they teach some mathematical and science topics based on their interest. It is not regular activity, but in a year 4 or 5 times our students do such type of activities, and really it is interesting.
So why does it help a person's social and emotional skill when you interact with someone and help another person? What happens? We learn. When we teach, we learn. Each time you teach something to a classmate, during the exam, someone comes and asks you doubts, you learn more. So similarly, when you go and share in the slums, when you go teach, or when you go to old age homes and learn so on, we learn more. Our emotional stability increases, our maturity increases, our focus on things that are distractions reduces, and we tend to focus more on important things in life. Thank you. The person who looks very Say the first point and elaborate on that.
Patience with those students who are disruptive or disrespectful. Bonding with disruptive students may improve their behavior in the classroom. When the students with respect in the classroom and disturb the classes, teachers, instead of just scolding them, teachers should try to understand the reason of their behavior and try to interact with them.
Okay. Have you had such a behavior in the class where you were studying in school or in college? Have you experienced? Yeah.
Some students are
Yeah, so I want to talk about that. I wanted to elaborate an example and explain. You just read it, so I wanted to elaborate an example, concrete example. What happened when one student did what?
in school in 12th standard to always regular class and laugh or comment in between when teacher used to teach. And my teacher used to scold him.
Yeah, so did it help when she scolded him?
No ma'am.
He didn't go.
He did the same. He does the same.
Because he wanted her attention and he got it. So he didn't go because he got more attention. That's the reason. So instead, what could she have done, the teacher?
And she could have met him personally and asked why he is doing like this. Is he suffering from any problem? What does he want?
Yeah. Actually, she doesn't need to even ask him why he's doing it. She just meets him outside class and tries to learn more about where you're from, your siblings, what your parents do, and try to learn more about him. he got the attention he paid in class, he got special attention outside class. So he's not going to be disruptive in the class. That's what this research finding indicates that this works. The second one, you want to read or you want to pass to your neighbor?
Modeling appropriate behavior. Students are very sensitive to teachers' attitude toward the college and the class in general. Therefore, teachers must be extremely self-reflective, marking certain that they are modeling positive behaviors for the student, for the class.
You know, Judy, you have to explain. Now you're the teacher.
Nowadays, teachers are not used to, they are not doing that much effort towards students. As I've seen.
Okay, that's why I said please explain so the right person got the mic. Your teacher is not here. You're from a different college. Don't be scared. No one's going to carry cake.
I think they should interact with students, but instead of doing that thing, they always try to going out from their duties. They don't want to help students. They just want to do their job and
Going to cover portions. Don't complete portions. I have to finish these lessons in these many days. I have to complete my job. And am I coming on time to class? No. Sometimes teachers don't come on time to class, but they expect students to be always on time. All teachers, my apologies. I'm also a teacher. I'm not targeting anyone. If you're one of those who come late, I will check my take. Sorry. No one is coming. It's true, that's why I'm saying that other research findings show us that if teachers model these behaviors, students learn from that. How to interact, as well as how to be punctual, as well as how to use courteous language. There are teachers who sometimes get emotional and use non-courteous, discourteous language. So teachers can definitely model positive behaviors. So therefore, this author is saying that they must be extremely self-reflective. What does self-reflective mean? Not just students having to introspect, teachers also have to reflect. They have to introspect, they have to think about what am I doing right at the end of the day? What am I doing right? These are required of us also for us to have a positive learning environment. Next one. Thank you. So what does the word setback mean? Anyone? What does the word setback mean? Learning to deal with setbacks? What does it mean? Failures. It's exactly what something sets you back from where you're supposed. You're supposed to be here, but you're still here and you're wondering, why am I here? So what happens? Why does it happen? And what should we do when there is a setback? We have to realize other side points. Anyone? Please read one by one and give me an example. You don't just nod your head, you just say thank you and take the mic. Next to you. She wants the mic. Smile using. No, why? You're not on TV. I'm on TV here on camera, right? Not you. So it turns on you if you want to answer that. This learning is about the participation. It's about teachers and students, how we can be stable. Sorry? Your answer is you. Okay. You don't mind taking files.
Setbacks, well, everyone experiences setbacks. It's not something. I mean, I was the part of youth festival, so we went there. I tried for first 2 years. I failed in the audition, but then finally I made it. So I went with the team.
You have to first share expression. If at first,
you need to try again.
So you have to learn that it's normal. Next one. Let's learn being in more. Done life.
You need help to learn to deal with they'll be set and move on and to analyze the situation and make changes in lifestyle or objectives.
So if they're not able to do it by themselves, what should they do?
They should learn from the environment, their teachers, and they should promote peer
ask for help. Learn to ask. How many of you boys ask for directions when you get lost? Never. No. We do fear you do. Okay, good. Because in my experience, usually men never ask for directions. They get lost, they go round and round in circles, but then they know, I know. I know. Wait, are you fine? And girls, how many of you ask for directions? 20 times I will ask when I'm driving. If I don't know the way. But I don't be shy to ask.
I will search on Google.
Sorry?
I will search on Google.
You search on Google. Yeah, I also search on Google. Even when you search on Google, sometimes you can't find the place. I usually make a Google map and take down directions before I go anywhere. Sometimes Google makes errors also. So, you still need to ask for help. Somebody's here, Google scholar. You need to ask, that's what I'm saying. I asked this question because I think that a lot of boys don't know. Because of this cultural conditioning that we've been hearing about in the morning, about the way boys are brought up and girls are brought up, boys have not learned to ask for help. It's not your fault, it's not our fault. We've been told so much you don't know, so we always ask. So even when I've told you so many words you don't know, it's just kind of assume that you don't know. So we think it's okay to ask. So we ask. So in a situation where you don't know whether there are setbacks, what should we all do, whether you're a boy or a girl? We need to ask, take help, ask someone. A teacher we trust, an adult we trust. I'm saying these two, a teacher we trust or an adult trust, because often you rely on their peers, you rely on each other. And sometimes that may not be the right solution sometimes. Because the person you're asking is the same age as you and may not give you the right advice or the So we know that women in engineering are still a minority. We've seen the numbers. Next one. So the exit rate for female engineers is much higher than in any other scientific field like chemistry, physics, medicine. Compared to any other field, engineers, women in engineering stop working faster, quicker, because they don't have perimeter. There's subtle discrimination, work conditions in which men talk, the way in which men talk, that women find disrespectful are also one of the reasons, and family pressures and reasons at home because you don't know how to take care of balance of your family life, your children, and your work. You know you're doing this, and do it. Part of developing a positive youth environment is to have better interactions among students and faculty. The other part is having activities that help us to focus on something that is non-academic, like hobby clubs, sports, and so on. And social service activities like Professor Sundar was talking about, that you all are going to visits and all that. And you have this NSS and LDRP. In fact, I was trying to get hold of this boy who was the NSS representative from your webpage, but he said he's not here, he's in Chennai. So he said that he talked to somebody who's here, like, and asked that person to contact me because I thought this would be the right time for that person to talk about this national social service activities. And this is activities that they do where they're focusing on something that is not me but you. The objective of NSS is exactly what it is about. If you're not focusing on yourself, you're focusing outside of yourself for looking at solutions to address problems that we face. Yeah. So these are all on the LDRP page which you can read. Next one. So I think that this specific thing I was thinking about, that maybe we can have more inter-college interaction, not just conferences like this, but where we can, colleges in the same area, we can get together, have picnics or sports activities. We tried it with our college next door to us with the 90 that we had some picnics and sports that we planned, but then it kind of faded out. I think that we should do it as a structured activity. That's my recommendation. Right? I think we can start right away also. So I'm thinking that this is what we could do maybe next semester, in the autumn semester, we could meet once for a picnic or for a sports event. And I'll try to talk to your NSS representative or someone, or to Zaniro Sudha or someone, and we can try to do that. These are my references. Any questions? Comments, questions? No. Thank you. Your time.
We are thankful to you, ma'am, for guiding us in positive direction. Now, I'd like to invite Asha sir to honor ma'am with a gift of flowers. Ma'am, please accept our small gratitude. Thank you so much. The video conferencing session of Vaka Vaida is going to start after a few minutes. So you just wait for a few minutes.